some breaking news here out of Cleveland as we bring in our senior insider, Shams Charania. Shams, what's the latest here for the Cavaliers?
Malika, Cavaliers guard Darius Garland underwent surgery today to repair a big toe injury, and I'm told he is likely to miss the start of next season. He's going to need about 4 to 5 months to rehab through the injury. And remember, Darius Garland suffered this big toe injury late in the regular season. He played through it as the Cavaliers won an East best 64 games and then lost in the second round with a pretty injury-ravaged team. And Darius Garland was named his second All-Star team this season. He was one of 2 players that averaged 20 points, 5 assists, and 40% on three-pointers along with Nikola Jokic. But now the Cavaliers face the prospect of being without him to start next season.
The Cavaliers, of course, missed Darius Garland for those 4 crucial games in these playoffs. Shams, thank you so much for that update. We hope that he has a speedy recovery because we'd love to see him on the floor for the beginning of next season. But the Cavaliers are one of 28 teams that it is the off-season for. So let's get to some off-season storylines here with a little chop it or drop it, because we could be gearing up for the summer of Kevin Durant here. As his former teammate Draymond Green, he went on the Jimmy Kimmel Show and revealed that the Warriors, they were actually very close, Draymond said, to trading for the 2-time Finals MVP. Did you guys hear this? Apparently, Joe Lacob, the Warriors governor, told Green that the deal was right there at the finish line. This was obviously before Jimmy Butler was eventually acquired, Chiney. So chop it or drop it. KD almost sent back to the Warriors?
We got to chop this up. We absolutely do, because that is, what do you mean? It's a little bit.
It didn't happen.
Well, I still feel like it's interesting, the fact that, like, okay, we're talking about KD going potentially to a new squad, maybe in Texas, who knows, Miami. Like, the Warriors are in the mix. But I think it just sort of tells you, like, the Warriors understood that they needed more help.
I think it was going to happen, and then Kevin Durant found out about it and said, I don't want to go there. And so the key is going to be, as we go into this trade situation for the next couple of weeks, how much of a role is Kevin Durant going to have as he deals with the Suns and potentially other teams on where he might go? And the reason he might have a say, not only because the Suns want to respect him, but also because he's got 1 year left on his contract. And if a team wants him for more than just 1 year, they may have to talk to him about a contract extension. So Kevin is on the record as saying he wants to control the last phase of his career. That's the spot we're in right now, and that did not include the Warriors.
Well, if I'm the Suns, I don't have to respect his wishes.
You do not.
Because I'm at the point where I need to do what's best for the organization. I done already tried this. Well, I done traded Kevin Durant and traded away draft picks and assets and all type of stuff, and now I'm stuck not only with Kevin Durant trying to get rid of his contract, but I'm stuck with Bradley Beal as well because I tried the big 3. So at this point, since they didn't clean house, they don't have to respect his wishes.
Right, but they
get the best for the organization.
The ideal is that they're able to recoup some of those assets, right? The only path to do that, because of the no trade clause that Bradley Beal has, is through a Kevin Durant trade.
And the irony, speaking of Golden State, was that Jimmy Butler, didn't they say, oh, I didn't want to go to Golden State, but then he ends up going to Golden State because he got the extension. So people change on different days.
The other thing is, if Kevin Durant is more invested in going there and willing to extend, in theory, if you're not trading him as a rental player,
right,
you can give more assets.
And that could be something that very much interests the Phoenix Suns, who are trying to replenish there. All right, let's move on here. According to Seth Davis, longtime Villanova coach Jay Wright informed the Knicks he's not interested in their head coaching vacancy. Shams has said that the Knicks, they would ideally hire a new coach before this month's NBA draft. Perk, Jay Wright out of the mix.
Drop it. I knew that already. I saw my good brother,
sources,
colleague Greeny. He tweeted it right after Knicks was fired, and I called him and I said no. Jay Wright is not the answer.
All right, so if we're dropping it, next up, Shams, he's reporting that Cooper Flagg, how about this? We'll go on to this one. Plans to have a private visit with the Dallas Mavericks here coming up on June 17th. Remember, the Mavericks won the draft lottery. Will pick first in just over 2 weeks here, Brian. There's been a lot of noise, but should they trade the #1 pick? It seems like they are making their move and making it clear.
Yeah, let's chop this because I want to just make it clear. Cooper Flagg is going to be a Dallas Maverick. I know it's fun to talk about possible trade destinations and whatever. While he's coming for that workout, he can go ahead and look at house listings. He's ready to. And go ahead and buy. Don't even worry about renting. You can buy.
It's a great state to buy.
we have the Texas committee, the welcoming committee, the tourism committee right over here. So Cooper Flagg.
Hey, cheers.
They've made it very clear. The Dallas Mavericks are hanging on. You're not going to cheer?
I know you're not cheering.
I was cheering.
We got you. All right, next
Flagg.
up, let's go to this one. Don Nelson, the second most coaching wins in NBA history. He was honored with the Chuck Daly Lifetime Achievement Award yesterday. Congrats. But his comments at the press conference, that's what's getting all of the attention.
And Luka, too, my dear friend. As a matter of fact, I want everybody to know I'm wearing Luka's shoes his new shoes from Nike. They just got on the market, and I'm wearing them in protest for the trade from Dallas. I think it was a tremendous mistake by the Dallas franchise to trade him, and I want everybody to know that.
You're 85-year-old legend.
Let me tell you why he's a legend. Because do you know he came here to get this honor? Yeah, I'm chopping it, by the way. Sorry. I'm telling you why I'm chopping it. You know when he came here to get this honor was the first time in 7 years he'd left Maui?
That,
ladies and gentlemen, is a winner.
Yeah.
That is a winner. And he's running his mouth and talking trash. That was, by the way, that press conference lasted 20 minutes. It could have lasted 2 hours. It was my highlight of the day. I was smiling during it. It was great to see Coach Nelson.
And in all seriousness, congratulations.
And by the way, go ask every player that played for Coach Nelson. You would not find one player that has one negative thing to say about him.
Same
not
with the Golden
one.
State Warriors fan base.
And they got a lot of stories,
They
too.
enjoyed their time with Don Nelson here.
Wanna try to boast at what I look like. Keep them going, try to wear, I pull up long range. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's NBA, I'm a